I want to talk to you about unsolicited advice and whether you should give it at all and whether it will get accepted. A few days ago, I got a call from somebody saying, an email or a call saying, Subra, your website may be good, but it has got awful design and you need a SEO to improve the quality of the design and to improve the readability on the mobile phone. I have nothing against such a caller, but if a caller calls and says negative things to start with, the chances are I will stop listening because I feel insulted. And maybe it's just a free blog that I'm doing, and it's just a free format which I have taken from somewhere. That's all. It's nothing great, and largely I'm more GAN oriented, not really graph and pictures and all that. So I thought something which just gives that is good enough. Now let's come to why am I giving this example. It is just to tell you how people approach me. Somebody will call up and say, Subra, I have this cousin of mine whose finances seem to be in a big mess, and you must call and talk to him and set things right. I put the phone down and laugh, saying, this guy who is supposedly in trouble doesn't even know he's in trouble, or perhaps won't even accept that he's in trouble. And a cousin who may be a very good well-wisher or a friend or whoever thinks that I should call him and say, hello, your finances are in trouble and I'm here to help you. Now, I have a lot of problems with such leads, considering that I don't even do their investments, etc. So for a fee, do you expect me to sort out all this? The answer is no, I don't do it at all. In fact, if somebody comes to me, I pass them on to follow IFAs or RIAs, depending on the location. I don't do it. So why would I? So what are the problems of unsolicited advice? I have in the past tried giving unsolicited advice to people who are convinced that all their money should be in real estate, or they are convinced that they know what is to be done and how much risk they take and how they are taking it, why their investments do not need a nomination, right? Or why making a will is completely useless. Oh, no problem, Subra, my house is held with my wife jointly, so I don't need a will. I've heard all these answers and I don't try to refute them. Once upon a time I used to get very agitated and I would say, no, it is not like this. Even if you are joint owners, you need a will. Today I've just gone past, because I feel all that I have to say is there on my blog. All you have to do is go and read it, right? So typically these are guys who think that they are solving somebody else's problem by giving them advice, or rather asking me to give them advice about what they should be doing with their portfolio. Don't ever do this. They are not interested in doing this. If they are interested, they will come. If a company is interested that the company is not doing well and they need help, it is the chairman who will come, and the chairman will not come to me because he knows me. The chairman will come to me because his ass is on fire. The company is being pushed to the back, and the lenders are likely to enforce the personal guarantee. At that stage, the chairman calls and says, Subra, we seem to be in some financial mess. Can you help us borrow? Can you help us do something? That is the way people come, and that is exactly the way when people come for help as far as personal finance is also concerned. They have to come. It is not that you can't push them and say, please go. They will not come that way. Nobody will come. A person who is overweight will not go on his own. Neither will the doctor call him up and say, I think you have a problem. Have you ever walked on the road with an overweight person? Has any doctor come to you and said, I think you have a problem, you please come to me? That doesn't happen. If you think that somebody is facing financial trouble and they also think so, or their spouse thinks so, or their parents think so, convince them that they need to look at an IFA, go to an IFA and sort things out. And I may not be the best person. They could come to my blog, they could read my blog, they could see my YouTube channels. If they still feel very strongly that they should approach me, I want them to approach me. I don't want you to push somebody to approach me. Please, I'm not looking for new business. I'm not looking for any work. I have enough training work that I'm doing. I must thank Birla Mutual Fund, Nippon Mutual Fund, PGIM, etc. I have enough work coming my way. I'm seriously not looking, and I don't think that kind of training and all comes because I have a blog or because I have YouTube channel. I don't want retail individual investors coming to me and saying, I am in a mess, sort it out. I would still not mind if an individual comes directly. I do not want an individual who is being pushed and who comes to me because somebody else is pushing him to come to me. Even that is okay, but the worst is expecting me to call up somebody and say, you are in a financial mess and I can help you. Boss, it doesn't happen. Unsolicited advice just gets ignored. There are a lot of people who will come and tell me that, Subra, I think you must do a session for us. I say, great, fantastic idea. How much will you charge? I said, this much. Oh, of course we can do it. Let me talk to others and come back to you. That's it. End of story. Or some people who come and say, I wish I had met you at when I was 25. That's great. What about the younger kids in your office? Then no, I will talk to HR, right? That's what happens. So unsolicited advice is not taken seriously. Unsolicited advice is not paid for. And unsolicited advice, even when given with best of intentions, is very rarely implemented. In the last 3 years, 3 friends, elder sisters or elder brothers I have approached, and I've been asked saying they are in some kind of financial trouble. Can you go and help them? And I have gone, I've taken the trouble, I've gone, met them, spoken to them, done a video call, and that's it. End of it. After that, absolutely no response. I have no clue whether they went to the person I recommended. I do not know whether they paid fees, whether anything got done. Nothing. Not even a thank you note, right? Because when I was young, I used to do a lot of unsolicited advice. Now I'm smarter. Thank you.